Okay guys, a little ahead of schedule. Finally decided I wanted to try and get this thing down in here. Uh, didn't go too bad. I mean, it's a pretty dang tight fit, I'll tell you that. I had to put some handles on it. I screwed some handles in it right here, one on each side, because it's pretty tight. Once you get it like partially down in there, it's hard to move around, especially with the epoxy. I don't think that helped any as far as it kind of sticks a little bit more. But I got the tie down holes lined up, drove them through there on both sides. Left them loose because I'm going to have to take them back out. I'm going to use them to line everything up. All the drain holes line up now since them are in. The next step is drilling all these holes. I'm going to get me probably maybe about a 1-inch thick piece of steel. I'm going to drill the appropriate hole size through the steel so I can lay that flat on the back of this transom and use that as a guide for my drill bit to go through, and hopefully that'll help it line up with the holes on the other side. As you can see, there's all kinds of holes. I'm not too sure if I'm getting you a good angle here. All kinds of sorry about that if I'm not. I can't hardly tell from where I'm looking at this. But basically, as you guys probably know, where all these holes go through, it goes through a structural part of the boat. And this hole has to line up with the hole in the structural part, and then that bolt goes in there and tightens down. So I'm thinking if I use like about a 1-inch piece of steel and lay it on here flat with the hole drilled in it straight with my drill press, then that'll line me up to where I'm hoping that the hole will pop through on the other side where it's supposed to. Same way with my motor mount bolts. I want them to be nice and tight and snug. I don't want to have to wobble the hole out to find the other hole on the other side. I got a 200 horse Optimax, a little over 500 pounds, so I want it to be nice and snug. But overall, I mean, it went in there. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this. If you guys have been following my videos, I told you I wanted to try and do this without taking all these factory rivets out of the gunnel. To me, that just seems like a structural part of the boat that's going to be hard to duplicate like they did at the factory. These gunnels are like the backbone of each side of this boat. I'm sure that's why they put all these rivets only about 3 inches apart. I'm thinking there was a reason for that. It's like a structural part of the boat. So I didn't want to drill all them out and try and rivet them back in there. It would be hard to duplicate like the factory did. I mean, maybe close, but why take the chances? And that's a hell of a lot of work. So as you can see, I didn't have to mess this side up at all. I got it in there. It took some finagling with the hooks here, a 2x4 and about a 5-pound hammer to finagle this thing in there. You can stick a piece of pipe through here and rest it on here to pry with. Same way on this side. When the hole was up here, I was able to stick through here and put it on here and shove over to get this side to pop down in here. As this side, I just had to cut this part of the gunnel, and that way I didn't have to mess up any of these rivets. I'm just going to have a new piece made. I think you guys will like it when I'm done. I'm just going to have a piece bent up out of aluminum that's going to go and hide this hole. Or I could actually have someone, well, I got a TIG welder, but I'm not the greatest at TIG welding aluminum. You could weld this in here, but I don't know how well that would do doing that so close to that resin, so I don't really want to do that. But I'm happy with it. I didn't have to tear any of that all out. And this is the only, basically, thing I'm going to have to fix, and saved a ton of time. Because I'm sure if you guys have done this, these rivets are not the easiest thing to drill out. And especially the ones on the other side, because I think, from what I can tell, they were like that outer piece was riveted on first, and then this piece of aluminum and this piece went on second, and then they riveted this side. So the outer piece was like riveted from the inside of the gunnel, which you can't really get to after this has been put on. So that's just what I did. I mean, I'm sure there's people that's taking the gunnels all up and everything's fine, but I'm thinking, why go through all that? This was a lot simpler. I would much rather just fix this little thing here than deal with all them rivets on the inside of there on the outside of this boat. Plus that rubber strip's not the easiest thing to get back in the channel either. But I'll let you guys know how the drilling goes, getting all these holes. I think I'm going to mess with it tomorrow if I can find a piece of steel like that laying around my shop somewhere. With the 4th of July weekend, everything's closed, so I'm not sure if I'll find anything. But I'm really excited now because I feel like I'm over the hump and I'm, going down the hill now. If I get all these bolts in here, or at least the holes drilled, because I really want to repaint the back of this boat. And I'm thinking every bolt that I drill and get through there, I'm going to stick the bolt through, then drill another hole, stick the bolt through, so nothing moves. And once I got all the bolts through the holes, then I can tap all them bolts out and sand the back of this off and paint. And then when I go to reassemble, all the bolts ought to go right on through and where they're supposed to go. That's the plan. But just wanted to show you how it's went so far. And if you have any questions, just private message me or just leave it down in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching the videos.